Hello, we are Geeks Assembled. I'm with Susan, and today we are discussing a 1994 Danny Boyle movie. What wouldn't you do if you found a suitcase full of money? And this is the main story of Shallow Grave. Three flatmates interviewing for the fourth flatmate, who unexpectedly dies one morning and leaves a wad of cash. What would you do? Of course, you'd cut the body up and bury him in a grave in the forest. And that is the gist of this movie. So, Susan, I know you have never seen this movie before. So over to you.
All right. Well, it's got Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Doctor in it, and so it can't be all bad. You know, it's the great meeting point. Ewan McGregor and Christopher Eccleston were so fun together. I really loved the way they played off each other. It was, and what's her name? Carrie Carson?
Carrie Fox.
Carrie Fox.
Yeah.
She is an amazing actress as well. I noticed that she's in a lot of stuff that he does, Danny Boyle does.
Mm-hmm.
So the joke is, you know, well, how do you know that it's a Danny Boyle movie? Well, because it's got Ewan McGregor and Carrie Fox in it. So anyway, not all that funny, but it's a joke nevertheless. So yeah, it was great, and I mean, the premise was hilarious, and these three started out the movie so full of life, so full of joy, able to take the mickey out of each other, out of any situation, and then slowly but surely, all that joy is tamped down by the situation of the roommate that came in, and all of the people that and the two gangsters that followed, and the fact that they dismembered the roommate and then killed the two gangsters, also taking off their hands and feet and breaking out all their teeth. And it basically drove David, Christopher Eccleston's character, over the edge.
His paranoia just went. It just shot through the sky.
Yeah, well, enough so that he was living in the attic, the loft, with the money in a tank of water, and having punched holes all through the ceiling tiles to spy on all of the other roommates, or the other two roommates. And then but you know, you could tell that there was a lot of sexual chemistry when they were first together, you know, when the movie opens, because they were really close together. Like this image is them sitting very close together on a couch or something, and with a table in front of them, staring at these other, you know, potential roommates.
Well, it's hinted in the movie. I don't know if you got it, that Juliet and David was where I think it was in the past, they had a relationship. It was something what Ewan's character had said in the movie.
Oh, so I didn't pick up on.
I think they'd had a relationship, but there wasn't in one of them that time. But there again, Juliet was still flirting with Alex, which Ewan's character as well. She was a bit of a flirty character.
Yeah, and there was chemistry there. There was chemistry between Juliet and David. There was chemistry between Juliet and Alex, and there was.
And what about all the men ringing up?
Yeah.
She got about a bit.
Yeah, I mean, she was always telling people, tell them I'm not there.
Yeah, I'm not in.
Yeah. So yeah, and then there was this one of their roommates that they wanted to rent a room in the flat was a guy who came in with red hair, and they just were merciless to him. Oh,
that was as Cameron.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got his own back.
He did. He kicked Alex's ass. Yeah. So it's a Danny Boyle movie. It's got a lot of that sort of underbelly kind of feel on certain ways, and it's got sort of it's a pretty racy movie. It's I bet you enjoyed some of the bits that were anyway.
Wow.
So anyway, yeah, I enjoyed it too. So it was a really good movie. Back over to you.
Thank you, Susan. Yeah, it's a Danny Boyle movie. You know what you're going to get with a Danny Boyle movie. A great movie and a great musical soundtrack as well. The music in this was brilliant.
Gosh, it was so good. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Left Field did the theme to it. Set in Edinburgh, not in Glasgow.
Yeah.
But those three characters there looking for a fourth roommate were horrible. Were horrible to every applicant for that room. They were just humiliating those people. I mean, if that's the way they were getting the kicks out of it, because at the end they were shutting the door, they were laughing their heads off. They were horrible to them. So you can understand why Cameron kicked Alex's head in the toilets at the party. But and for me, the most dislikable character in this movie is not David. David was pushed to the brink of insanity by Alex.
So Alex was the most...
Alex is the most dislikable one in this movie because he was the one who found the money and said, let's keep the money. And he was the one who persuaded Juliet and David to keep the money. He was the one who says, right, we've got to get rid of the body. And he was the one who wouldn't do it. He was the one who said, let's draw straws. And it was David who got the straw. So he was forced to do it. So Alex is the bad one in this movie. And then,
but he's like a Carlisle character. He's bad, but you kind of like him because he's so vain.
He's vain. It's me. Julia is just she's also me, as you found out when she near the end of the movie as well. But the way David's, he's got his head screwed on right because he's a lawyer, a solicitor or whatever it is. I think, is he a lawyer or something? He's an accountant. That was it. He was an accountant, chartered accountant. So he's got his scruples. He knows as well that a body, a dead body, if it goes missing, people will be looking for this person. You can't spend the money. And what are those two doing?
Spending the money.
Spending the money. And it does. It comes back to bite them because, say, the police are on the trail, the gangsters are on the trail, and it's just the way Eccleston's portrayal of journey into insanity. Oh, it's not really insanity. It's desperation and maybe a bit of insanity, because it does take hold of him. And going up into the loft, taping the money up, putting it into the water tank, and drilling the holes in the ceilings just to keep an eye on everyone so nobody could come and get the money. I mean, did he think that's where the money was going to stay for the rest of his life? But yeah, Alex is the most dislikable character in this, but he's also likable, as you say, portrayed by Ewan McGregor. You do get the light side where they're all partying and and Ewan McGregor's wearing a dress and they're all having a laugh and all like that.
Yeah.
But it's the scenes of desperation in David when he's having to cut up the body in the woods, smash the teeth in, bury the bodies while those two are just stood watching, which you can see why he broke.
Yeah.
And then he had to do it again for 2 more times because of the gangsters.
Right.
So it's, friendship goes wrong, shall we say?
Yes.
But it's a damn good movie. It's I mean, this was this a year before Trainspotting? I think it was.
Yeah.
So this was, I think this was Danny Boyle's big break movie. I can't remember if he did one before this one, but this one brought his name to up front to everybody. So, what's your favourite moments in this movie, Susan?
Well, I loved it during the spending spree. All the shenanigans, and I love the interviewing of the roommates. That was, I mean, it was in the halcyon days where it wasn't a bad date, and where these three were getting along and stuff before it all went wrong, before Juliet went and bought the plane ticket to South America.
She did trust both of them.
Yeah. And so it was fun. It was definitely edgy, as Danny Boyle is.
I mean,
he doesn't make all of his characters really. He doesn't make any of them good guys. He makes everybody sort of,
Yeah, he doesn't make likable characters, does he?
He does make likable characters, but they aren't good guys. I mean, I do like Begbie and I do like Alex. I mean,
but you're not supposed to like them. That's the point, I think.
Whatever, whatever.
That's just your strange ways.
Well, yeah, and that's a great Smiths album. Anyway, like I don't know. I just like I like these sort of really, really rough characters who are really charismatic. That's another thing, is that they have to have a lot of charisma to get away with this stuff that they do.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you had the flatmate Hugo, played by Keith Allen. Everybody knows him from the comic strip days to Robin Hood and being the father of Lily Allen and all like that. He's a brilliant actor, but what do they want him to do? Just want him to go there, become a flatmate, then lay on the bed naked, dead, and then we'll dismember your body later, you know. And then you also had a brilliant actor, a Scottish actor, Ken Stott, in this as the detective inspector.
Yeah.
Brilliant actor. But also his second in charge, the one who was taking notes, he says, take notes, was the screenwriter of this movie. So John Hodge.
Oh.
He was playing his understudy, the copper's understudy. But
okay, I didn't put that together. So Danny Boyle had done a TV series called Screenplay, Mrs. Rose Virgins, Inspector Morse, For the Greater Good, the TV show Monkeys, The Night Watch, Scout, and Venus de Milo, all for telly before he ever did this. This was his first motion picture.
Right, there you are. And what a way to start.
What a way to start. And then he used Ewan McGregor in Shallow Grave, Trainspotting, A Life Less Ordinary. I mean, he kept using Ewan McGregor over and over and over again.
Well, you use the people that you're comfortable with, I suppose.
Yeah.
And did you mostly didn't guess the twist at the end then with the Eccleston's character, because he begins the movie looking at the screen, just you hear his voice, and then you hear his voice at the end of the screen where he's just looking at the end of the movie, just looking at the screen. But he was dead at the beginning, he was dead at the end. He was on the morgue slab, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't get that twist. Wow.
No, not many people do, but because it's the same scene where it's just his face and you hear his voice. Yeah. And then it goes to the movie, and then it's at the end of it, it's just his face, you hear his voice, and then they push him into the
cooler.
Yeah. I have got a question though.
Yeah.
How and when did Alex get the money from the loft and put it under the floorboards in the kitchen?
I don't know, because
David was in the loft all the time. He wasn't going to work.
David wasn't leaving the apartment, the flat.
Exactly.
And he had mentioned, you don't just put it up in the loft, you put it under the floorboards. So maybe he had already done it. Maybe right after the spending spree, he did it.
Yeah, but I'm sure David had looked in the case before.
I don't think he ever looked in the case.
Because I was thinking, how the hell did he get the money down from the loft and put it under the floorboards? So, as you say,
and the only way that it's revealed that it's actually transposed is that she thinks that she has got all the money, and it's nothing but his little newspapers with his own byline cut out.
Yeah.
The cover art cut out, and then
so really she was sort of running out on them with the money. Alex was sort of nicking the money from them too, hiding it under the floorboard. So the trust had gone totally.
Yeah.
Between those three.
Yeah, and David, who wouldn't even look at the money, probably didn't even know that it was gone ever, because he refused to look, absolutely refused to look upstairs take it out of the tank and look at it.
I mean,
because that would mean, as an accountant, that would mean that he'd committed a crime, and he was willing to get away with,
murder,
some vivisection and murder, but not an accounting crime.
I'm just wondering what is the outcome of this at the end? I mean, we don't see it, but I'm just wondering.
It's when he gets stabbed and you see that knife go down through the floorboard,
and she pushes it further,
and then it comes back to him, and you see the cutaway of the floor, and then the stash, and he's still alive though, and he's
and he's laughing.
Yeah, he is.
So, but I would say the outcome of this though, Juliet does a runner after she discovers the money's not in the bag. She goes to the airport. Now, surely the police would be after her, because she was the one. Or is Alex going to say it was David who stabbed him?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
And because the police must be connecting the bodies in the woods with these people.
Eventually, yeah.
I'm assuming in that case, Alex will go to prison.
No, I don't think so. I think that he's going to blame it on
David
and Julia, or Juliet.
Yeah, and she's going to blame.
Yeah.
Should have been a sequel.
Yeah, and he's gonna whenever he gets extricated from his shoulder position, he could find another place for the money, and
Yeah,
and maybe get a new flat, maybe move out.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
let
me talk about this flat. This flat had rooms that were ginormous.
Yeah. Just as you open the front door, the hallway was just an expanse with doors off the hallway.
It's fucking huge.
Yeah.
What, like a 3,000-pound apartment?
I don't know, to be honest.
3,500?
I don't know. It's what it looked like, a really old-fashioned house, didn't it? And back in the days, they did have huge houses. So.
But it wasn't really a house. It was a apartment block, because there was that spiral staircase.
Yeah.
I mean, it was gorgeous. Oh my God. I was like, hardwood floors, beautiful molding. I mean, in this city, it would have been like 5,000 or 6,000 easily. But in Edinburgh, back then, it could have been 3,000. I bet. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I was blown out of the water.
Yeah.
So they were used to a life of luxury.
Yeah, you got that feeling at the beginning of the movie when they were just taking the piss out of the potential flatmates.
Yeah.
You got that, like, from Juliet, who looked like she knew how to enjoy herself and live the high life.
Yeah.
So, and they were all in good jobs, wasn't he? He was an accountant, she was a doctor, he was a journalist.
Yeah.
Well-paid jobs.
Yeah. And Hugo came in with just cash.
Just cash. I mean, it wasn't really, well, I think he explained it was a drugs overdose, wasn't it, with Hugo?
Well, yeah, because he found all the kit in the side.
In the drawer, yeah. But if you blink, you'd miss that bit. That was all. He didn't really linger on it.
No, it wasn't like Train Spotting where it was like the pillar of the whole movie.
So yeah, it's just the paranoia between all three of them, and the way it sort of changed all three of them. It was just an amazing movie. So, anything else you'd like to say about this?
No, the more I see of Danny Boyle, the more I really like Danny Boyle's movies. But I've seen a lot, I've seen all. I saw his 28 Days, and I saw with Christopher again, and then I saw Train Spotting and some other ones. Let me see which ones. Let me see.
So you've seen The Beach, won't you? And
yep.
Of course, you've seen Trainspotting 1 and 2.
Yep. I've seen Slumdog Millionaire, Yesterday, Trust. I've seen Steve Jobs. I've seen Trance. I've seen Isles of
Sunshine.
What?
Sunshine.
Sunshine. I've seen Sunshine. Yep. Yeah, it's fun to talk about Danny Boyle's movies with you here on with Geeks Assembled. It is fun because you guys
may be
also.
Well, I mean, these Danny Boyle movies may be sort of dark and depressive in what the stories are about, but they're enjoyable movies.
Yeah.
And that's that's what any type of movie I'll sit down and watch. So, and I always put people with
127 hours.
120. Is that the
one who cut his arm off? And
Franco, was it? Isn't it the actor? Yeah. So.
One that I'd like to. Life Less Ordinary, also. Iggy Pop, Lust for Life. The one that I'd like to see now is Vacuuming Completely Nude in Paradise.
I beg your pardon?
It's called Vacuuming Completely Nude in Paradise.
Right, and
anyway, that's what. Yeah, and I really have to say that speaking of Ewan McGregor, I cannot frickin' wait for Kenobi to come out. Oh my God, he's reprising it, and he's gonna be so brilliant. And I read the book. I just listened to the audiobook of Kenobi, and that was so good. Yeah. So I'm excited for Kenobi. Kenobi's gonna be a sweet series.
I hope it is.
Yeah.
Let's hope it is, and we're not let down by it.
Yeah, agreed. And have you seen, speaking of Eccleston, have you seen The A Word? Any of that telly series?
The A Word. I might have done. It rings a bell.
It's about this kid who's autistic, and his father is played by Eccleston.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I watched the first couple episodes. It's a sweet story, but it's kind of challenging. So I mean, I didn't get sucked in to binge it, so I don't know.
Yeah. I know what you mean by that. Yeah. So, right. So we've done our final. We've done our favourite things. So, shall we go final say and score?
Sure.
Over to you.
All right. Well, I love this. I thought it was great. It's just another one of top-notch group of Danny Boyle movies, and the it's so well acted and so and it's so the movie changes so much from the beginning, which is full of joy and irreverence, to the end, which is full of heartache and paranoia. And so I'll give it 9.5 hammers and hacksaws out of 10.
Yeah, Shallow Graves. If you guys out there, find it, give it a watch. Yeah, enjoyable to sit down. It's a bit, a bit macabre in places, but it's a good tale. So I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it 9. 9 Christopher Eccleston's bare bottoms in the shower out of 10. Susan never mentioned that, and I thought she would.
Oh, I totally, yeah. The Hugo on the bed and David in the shower. Nice.
It was nice.
Nice.
Yeah, little Nan, yeah. Enjoyable movie. So, Susan, thank you for watching for the first time Shallow Grave. And I'm sure it won't be the last time you watch it.
Probably not.
You guys out there, please let us know what you thought of the movie, if you've seen it. If not, why not? Go out there and watch it. Leave a comment below. If you want to be on our casts, message us. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, somewhere else, YouTube, of course, because you're watching this. And if you want to be notified every time we put up a new video, press the bell notification button. It's about time she got that oiled. A dinger needs oiling.
Or, yeah.
So, and you'll get notified every time we put one up. So, I think that is it, isn't it? Until next time, Susan. Just remember, I do need a shovel and a spade. So I may be gone a while next week, but I'm doing a bit of DIYing at home. So, with a hammer, a shovel, a spade. And if any of our group members disappear, missing, we'll just go over that, okay?
I'm not going to ask any questions.
Well, there is some names on top of the list.
I know, but I'm just not going to ask any questions. But do not be surprised if there are holes drilled in your ceiling.
Yes, well, a man's got to keep busy, hasn't he? I've got to have a hobby.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.